Hi, I'm Eshkalar, and I got something to say, of course, or else I wouldn't get in front of the camera. And yeah, the clock is ticking, folks. And I'm going to express something about why you should be paying attention to it. Today, I'm going to talk about art and artistry, and I'm going to talk about fanboys, and I'm going to talk about war crimes, and I'm going to ask you to make a decision. Time to go elsewhere. Listen to somebody that doesn't make you have to work in your brain. See ya. For that last person that's still there, thank you. Thank you very much for giving Eshkalar a shot. Now I'm going to try to express something to you. Art is two kinds of communication. And that's important because I'm going to ask if both types of communication should be reconnected. And that's an important question. So here's how it goes. Art is two kinds of communication. One is the artist. The artist communicates his or her angst, unhappiness, stresses, tensions, conflicts, inner conflicts, as a piece of art, a painting, right? A poem, right? Why here in this place, the sun has outraced my deeds, dawn ever recedes. Yeah, I can do that. They say you can't do it. You said it to the wrong guy. I can make haiku. I can make haiku that rhymes because I'm Eshkalar and you're not. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Why me being Eshkalar should be more important to you than it was. So the artist expresses his or her inner conflicts through a piece of art. Because if the artist wasn't being hounded by inner conflict, the artist would not be an artist. The artist would be another person. He'd have a job, he'd come home, and he and his wife or life partner or whatever would argue, just like any couple. And that's all over unresolved conflicts. Sometimes within the individual, but here's a handy forum to scream at, it's a nice thing. And some people get all stimulated from the screaming, and that rouses their libido. That's called makeup sex. You never heard of it. You will. So anyway, an artist makes a communication through his medium, right? But once he is done making that connection, he's not on it anymore. Now it sits on a shelf somewhere and waits for somebody else to be captivated by it. Yeah, it's a painting. It's a CD. It's something like that. It's not a movie. Movies aren't art, they're craft. I'll explain that in another video. Hollywood movies are formulaic, and formulaic art is not art, it's craft. There's a big difference. If you don't know the difference, then you don't know the difference between rock and roll and rock. And you should learn. It's not up to me to teach you. You have time. Figure it out for yourself. Then argue with me, not until you figured it out. Because our fond opinions aren't what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the communication that art makes. And that's very specific and important. So, I'm an artist. I create a piece of art. Watch, I'm going to walk off stage. Oh, I fell on the flower. Oh, man. Wow. Now I'm even whiter than I was. I was already too white. So, you make yourself a piece of art, right? Here you go. Nice piece of art, right? And all the frustrations in that artist's soul. Coming out in that cute little thing that's not quite a cartoon, but it is a band poster. And it sort of says what the band is about, right? So that's nice. Made a communication, didn't it? Yeah, it did. But the artist's communication was done as soon as he lifted his pen off the last time. This is easy because there's no amorphous message, there's a definite message. This band is playing at this place on this date. That's pretty simple. But still, that is not a formulaic work. That's a piece of art. So, the artist has painted his soul out on paper. That's okay. Now consider that you're a person in an art gallery. You come across this and you say, like, that's captivated me. Look at that, is that nice? Wonder what was in that guy's mind when there's a periscope and a dolphin with glasses and numbers and nice type and clean type and then crazy type and then look at all this stuff. Just fills that drawing. There's activity in every direction. Your eyes being called back into it all the time. How about that? It's art. It follows the rules, which you don't know, of art. You don't have to know the rules, by the way. If you're an artist, You don't need to know the rules. If you are a person who sells art, you better know the rules so you can explain to other people how wonderful that piece is. But that's what I'm going to talk about now. The artist is done with this piece. He has no more input except to accept the money, thank you. Right? Or to walk into his garage and find out it's rained during the night, his landlord didn't fix the roof, and now all his art's destroyed. Which has happened to somebody I know in Aspinwall. So anyway, when the auditor, when the buyer, the patron, sees that artwork and says, you know what, that's really nice. Look, this guy obviously understands how to do an ink drawing, right? He understands the use of heavy technique and light technique. He understands the use of the different thicknesses of lines and the way that things move on the page and the way your eye moves in order to tell an effective story. Now, this is shooting ducks in a barrel because it's a specific thing. It's a band, they do this, and they're doing it then. But still, all around that, there's art. There's the conflicts in the artist's soul. Yeah? Look how cool this is. But to learn about it, I had to get smart. And then when I got smart, I learned that there was bad things too. Yeah, the growth of wisdom in a band poster. Can you imagine? So, but that artist is let go. It's now behind glass. He's not going to get to touch it again. Unless somebody says, will you please sign the back because I want people to know it was yours. So you're a patron, you come in, you say like, that's captivating. Wow, I'm going to buy that. And you buy it. It hangs in your bathroom. It hangs on the wall where you want people to move quick. I was at Falling Water. Frank Lloyd Wright made his spaces to make people move quickly through them. He's an ugly little man, I got to tell you. People should want to linger at every one of your fucking spaces, Frank. Every one, even the hallways, even the bathrooms. Your building should be a work of art, not craft. It should not employ psychology the way that Ford did or Hitler did. It should employ the idea that you love your subject, and you didn't do it. You failed to love your subject, Frank. Okay, well, back to me, because Frank's long gone. I'm still here for a little while. How about that? I win, Frank. What's all them millions doing for you now? Can't take it with you? Thought so. So anyway, and your fortresses in Japan have either been torn down or they've been repurposed into something ugly. I'm just kidding. So anyway, hey, I'm not down on architects. You know, they're craftsmen. They're not artists. I'm not speaking on architecture today. When they say, oh no, that's great art, there's no piece of architecture anywhere that wasn't done without tools to aid that architecture. And it's always circles and rectangles. Sometimes a triangle. So no, it's all geometric rearrangement. It's all done mathematically and calculated very well. Frank Lloyd Wright, tell them, oh, you're dead, I'm sorry. So it's craft, it's not art. You may feel art from it, but that's what I'm going to talk about. That's not what the artist intended or the architect intended. The architect intended to sell a building. Pay me more if you buy it than you do if you don't you? Yeah, that's how it is. That's how prostitution is, too. That's why you should give money to hookers and not ask for sex. Because it'll make the pimp so mad. Oh, he'll get mad. And then he'll like raise a stink, and then the police will scoop him up because he no longer can suit society. Now the girls are cheaper because they're working on their own. You don't understand your own economy, do you? You support an artificial economy like the pimp, and you have ruined the effort that the sexual professionals put forth. That's right. Now the problem is, it's all in the honor system, right? I don't have the clap. Oh, well. Last guy was 10 minutes ago, so I don't really know if I have the clap or not. But the last time I checked, I didn't have the clap. You're next, bud. You see what I mean? So let's talk about art here. The artist is done with that drawing. That drawing sits on a shelf somewhere or hangs on a wall somewhere until somebody says, I like that. But the communication that they get from this isn't the communication that the artist put into it. This is the essential point in my vlog here. What I see in this is, I don't know, I love dolphins. Oh look, that's cute, dolphin with glasses. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know why you do that, but boy, I haven't seen anybody else do that, so I like that, right? And look, beside it, Oh darn, it's a periscope. So like dolphins chase boats, this dolphin's chasing a submarine. And see, he's a smart dolphin, so he knows whatever dolphins know. So what I get as the viewer, as the auditor, as the patron, out of that piece is what I get out of it, not what the artist put into it. September 15th of Thursdays, that's already done. It was done back in 1990. So that September 15th is long gone. But if you saw that piece and you liked it, you would buy it anyway because it spoke to you in some way. It communicated something to you. But it didn't communicate to you what the artist communicated to it. So art has two kinds of communication. One is the artist with his or her piece of art. And the second is the buyer and the piece of art. The buyer does not have a long conversation with the artist about the meaning of the piece if it's sitting on a wall somewhere. The buyer just buys the piece. Hey, I like this. And maybe if he buys 5 or 6 pieces by the same artist, he starts thinking to himself, you know, I like that. That's a style. I like that style, right? I mean, he comes upon another show, right? There's another man poster. Look at that. 2 man posters. And this one's funny, and it's got a silly thing on it, and it's got a silly thing on it, it's got a silly thing on it, right? It's an astronaut, a down-to-earth man, an astronaut in space. Rocks your socks up. There's rocks taking somebody's socks. I mean, is that silly? Sure it is. But the artist made a communication here. The artist said that space is a very dangerous place. And he made light of it because he's a comedian. But the message that he put into this was space is a dangerous damn place. Glad I'm on Earth. But if you saw it on a wall somewhere, you said, oh, is that cute? Rocks, your socks, rocks, it's guy's a retard. But still, that's pretty cute. I'm going to buy that, right? So you buy it. And you say, what I got out of it was, this reminds me of my favorite cartoon. I like the way he handled space and movement. I like the way the eye moves. Because again, this is a piece of art, it's not craft. The artist set this up as an art piece to make the eye always move back into the piece. From wherever it rolls off, it comes back into the piece. It comes back into the piece. It comes back into the piece. That's the purpose of graphic art, is to amuse you, to keep your eye inside of it as long as possible. That is the scientific purpose of art. But I'm talking now about the artist's communication. I'm just explaining that I know more about this than it seems from my easy handling of the topic. I know a lot about art. If you've seen my work before, you'll probably agree. This made a communication. The artist did what he did, right? Yeah. And then you as the buyer, the patron, the potential patron, you walk into a shop and you're like looking at this one and you're looking at that one. You come to this one and you go like, oh, that's silly. Wow. The Simpsons talked about it one time when they said that you should name your band something that's like funny the first time, and the second time you go, oh, and the third time you already forgot why it was funny. Ta-da! But the artist did it, of course, to communicate a thing, an event was going to happen, right? That Saturday night in September of '99, one of those Saturday nights, right? That band was going to be playing at whatever place had this in the window. I wish I had the rest of these posters because there were some very good ones. I only have 3 left. But anyway, what communication the artist made was done when his pen came off the paper. His communication as a professional artist was, funny, this band is playing, it's a down-to-earth band, right? And they'll be playing here on Saturday, okay? Advertisement. But behind that, there's the artist's message, which is space is a dangerous place, and the science of art, which is the motion of the eye, positive and negative space. Important stuff. It's the science of art. Music has a science too, by the way. And I urge all you musical people to learn the science of your art, just like I did, to be able to draw, just like Wild Bill does to be able to write songs. Yeah, just that teeny little bit he knows about the science behind his art has set him free in ways that he doesn't see many people doing. But some of those people are more talented than he is. Don't tell him I said that. And if they just knew that teeny little bit of science behind their art, they would rock so much more, both to themselves and also to the potential buyer who says, I don't know why I like this, but doesn't realize that his or her eye is being brought back into the drawing again and again and again. Every time they drift past, look, this line goes, this line goes, that goes there, this goes there, and this goes there. Oh my gosh, I'm going back. The eye moves. It does that for real reasons, for real rules. The same rules that let a hunter set traps where he knows the animals are going to go and where they won't be looking down. Anyway, once you buy that art, you get out from it what you want to get out of it, what your brain tells you that art is about. I like it because I like black and white. And look, he's got some color too, but not too much. I kind of like that. Look, the minimalist coverage there of his idea. Look at, if I knew the science, look at his amazing use of positive and negative space without even having to establish it. He just faked the eye into thinking there's positive and negative space in there. This guy's a genius. But you wouldn't know that unless you knew the science behind it. What you would know is, I like this. And you buy it, $15, $20. I've had people say, yeah, I'll buy that for $20. I've also had people say, my 9-year-old daughter could draw better than that. I have yet to see a single piece of art by this guy that was only worth $20. And I have yet to see a single 9-year-old that could do this. And I'm pretty old. So those guys are liars. And they're ignorant. And that's okay, because I'm ignorant about things. I'm ignorant about things like how to be PC. So yeah, you can be ignorant and still be functional. But I digress. This piece was done by the artist. He's done expressing what he expressed through it. Now it sits on the wall until you, the patron, decide if you like it or not. And if you do, you pay the, whatever, what would he sell this for? Probably $150 behind glass. So you pay the $150 and you take it home. And you hang it up somewhere in your closet, and give it to your kid. He puts it in his locker at school so people can write messages, let them know when they're going to be there. Whatever. But still, it has functionality of some sort in the lives of the people beyond the artist who did not know what they would take out of it. All pretty clear? Eshgar taking too long to get to a point? That's never happened before. That's what makes me a great lover. Whoa, yeah, now you're thinking. Great artists understand people. So anyway. Now we go on to the important part. You've understood about art being two kinds of communication. The artist communicates through his or her media into a completed piece. Now it leaves his or her purview entirely, and it goes to a patron. And that patron makes a second communication. That art communicates to me something. I'm an astronaut, and this is frickin' hilarious. This guy understands things that other people don't understand. I'm an artist, and I say like, whoa, that moves right. Something he did, wow, he's a minimalist. This guy's a genius. Easy to use that word because I spell it with a J and two E's, but still, the point is valid. Ask around. So, now we come to the crux of the problem. She liked his art. You liked his art. Now you own it on the wall. 2 weeks down the line, there's a news report. This artist is accused of war crimes. This artist aided the Nazis. This artist aided some rioters. This artist was part of a conspiracy. This artist was part of a negative movement that sought to dethrone somebody, right? He was ugly. He beat his kids. He beat his wife. When his wife beat him, he didn't say thank you. Something he did that was wrong, right? And now you found out about it. Damn, this guy was ugly. And I so like this painting. So now you have a moral and an ethical dilemma. a real first world problem. Because I like this art, do I keep it on my wall? Because I know what kind of a monster or an asshole the artist was, should I take it down? Should I burn it? Should I say, I was fooled. I used to think this guy was cool, but now I know he's a jerk. This is important because this is what's going through society right now, is the reaction to understanding that your artists are human. Your sports figures are human. Your politicos are human. They have human strengths. They have human frailties. They have human glorious moments. I hate to use that word because I believe all glory goes to God, but still you get the point. And they have inglorious moments. This artist is a horrible drunk. This artist did so much cocaine that he killed his kids, not realizing, freaking out one night. This artist locked people in a basement and made them into sexual slaves. This artist supported somebody that did something terrible. This artist was part of a group that did something terrible. This artist's name is associated with a group that did something terrible. At what point do you say to yourself, that makes the art ugly? I don't want to be selling that guy's art because he's ugly. Even if I like the art. There are many artists like this over the course of history. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring a gray area in. So far it's all been black and white. The artist connects with the art. The viewer connects with the art. Neither the artist or the viewer have any connection. Each gets, he puts something into it he wanted. He gets something out of it that he wanted. But when he learns that that artist wasn't a nice guy, does he have the right, should he feel that it is all right to continue to display the art? Is he supporting that bad person by continuing to display the art? If you find out that some great artist was a pervert, should that slant your judgment against him or her or it? Artists have weird identity crises, right? No? Well then fine. Buy art, enjoy it. Be entertained. Be entertained by what entertains you, not necessarily what the artist was trying to say, because you don't know. Sometimes you say, I know what he was saying. I was there, or I know about this, or okay, that's legitimate too. Or if you know about the science of art, the motion of the eye on the paper, the media, the way that you work that, the way that you feel a natural balance of things that ends up with the eye moving correctly, staying on the pace. I'll be there in a second. I just want to, I don't know why I like this. It just, you know. Now, if you find out that that person that did that wonderful bit of art is a nasty person, do you support it? Do you support him? Do you say, well, that $200 I gave that guy was perfectly well spent? This is an important question. I don't know how to frame it any better. Being an artist, I have to walk a razor's edge, even talking about this. What if somebody finds out something bad about me and says, I'm burning this. My legacy gone forever. So, you can be a patron of the arts, and you can enjoy the arts, or the crafts. If you watch Hollywood movies, it's not art, it's craft, and I'll explain that in another video. Because I got all the information up here, you know what I mean? I know it's all going on. But if I take too long, you'll be like, fucking boring old man, can you please shut up? Do I have to desubscribe to send a message to you? Huh? Yeah. See? Communication between the fan and the artist could take place, but it doesn't take place through the artwork. That stopped when the artist lifted his hand. And that started when you saw it and were amused by it. And then it continues if you find something out wonderful or terrible about the artist. If you have a piece of art that you're not really fond of, but you find out that the artist was a wonderful person, does that make the art better? Should you tell friends, hey, not only is this a good piece of art, but this guy also, right, saved the whales, nuked the whales, whatever it was, the cause that he followed that turned out right, you know. So, I'm not asking you guys to ethically or morally analyze all your artworks or all the artworks that you like in the world, but I'm going to suggest to you that this is a real issue. Do you support an agency that supports human trafficking? Do you support an agency that supports violence against helpless individuals? Do you support an agency that causes harm in the world simply because you like the looks of the outside of it? You like the t-shirt. You like the halftime show. You like the commercial. Do you need to know any more? Is it incumbent upon you to learn more so that you only support things that are worth supporting? Or does it not matter? At what point does it not matter? Because it will matter when it's your kids involved. Just saying. So that's Eshkalar for today. I had a very serious point to make. I assume that nobody's going to watch this because it's too long, and I'm pretty boring. And I take a long time to get to my points, which are always hugely important and may be worth your time to know. This is Eshkalar. Oops. Well, Bill's working free of his ropes. I'm going to have to let him go because otherwise he'll kill me. He's an assassin. Should you like his art if he's an assassin? Gotta ask.